Okay, mentors, are we ready? So we're gonna move at a little higher velocity than the first one. I know we wanted to sort of get through some stuff. Thanks, Ozan, for recognizing. No. Your feedback's important. But we kind of trade between sort of quality and quantity. We also want to satisfy the folks that are here and have prepped to pitch today. So maybe we'll do like 3 or so minutes of feedback for the 2-minute pitch. So maybe 2 of you comment on any given pitch, something like that. And if it's repeat, just move on to another comment. So I would please like you to give us a start in Istanbul. Welcome to, please. Texty up. Do you have the clicker? No. Elif, we need the clicker. So your time is here.
Okay.
Your slides are there. Oh, you have the clicker. There you go. Excellent.
Thank you.
There you go, sir.
Thank you so much.
So when you're ready, just go and the time will start.
Okay. Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Usama and I'm the CEO of Texty. At its core, Texty is your digital travel guide. I want to ask how many of you love traveling? We all love traveling. But whenever we are traveling from one point to the other point, the only thing we have in mind is that where we people are going to stay, what kind of cultural values that place has to offer, what kind of food, what kind of weather. So Texty is your digital travel guide, a smartphone application which gives you a virtual tour to your next travel destination. So you people can get yourself educated prior to your travel. These are the 3 simple steps our product have. It's live. Within 3 simple steps, you can take the virtual tour, you can decide where you want to stay or which tour package you want to book, and you are done. On a single click, you have booked it. You are ready to go. So guys, do you know Pakistan is our primary target market, and what's the worth of Pakistani tourism industry? It's $20 billion US. And according to World Travel and Tourism Council, back in 2017, and after that, there are 38 million domestic tourists every year and 1.7 million international tourists every year. So it's a very big market. So these are the last 3 months projection. Texty is a business-to-business model, and we charge 15% of cut on every booking happening through our platform. Just in last 3 months, we people have generated close to $30,000 in revenue. People have booked 300 plus rooms and 47 plus tour packages using our digital platform in Pakistan. So we don't have any direct competitor in the market, but we have Booking.com, GoGoom, Sasta Ticket. But we people, they are only focused on hotel bookings. We people, our unique selling point is virtual tours, and we better understand the local market. And we people are educating travelers to promote responsible and sustainable tourism in the region. This is the team, guys. I'm the CEO, having startup experience and traveling experience. This is the team. We have dedicated team, which is working full-time for the product. And we people are looking for $250,000 US. So we people are growing day by day, and we are expecting a rapid growth over the next few months. I want to ask that who want to join the next big thing in tourism industry? Thank you so much, guys.
So who'd like to go?
I'm the only one. Can I have the I'll check if I saw this right. Then that will be epic. You know what's coming, right? Come.
Okay.
Let's all celebrate the great tourism industry of a country called Pakistan.
Yeah,
Please don't do this again.
no, I'm really sorry. Actually, I think there is a spelling mistake, guys. I'm really sorry. we will be fixing it.
You don't need to explain.
Yeah.
You don't need to explain. All right,
Exactly.
we've got about 2 minutes. What other comments? What could he do better? Yeah, definitely use the mics, please.
So, quick question. It's
Yeah.
like, you mentioned the competition. What is the exact problem that you're tackling? This is a saturated market and there is a lot of players into
So that's not a question you answer. This is in a judging session,
All right.
so we're just giving feedback. But it's not clear to him from your slides and your
Yes.
presentation what you're
Yes,
addressing.
you're not doing rooms and you're not doing transportation. So that was not clear the exact problem that you're tackling in a very big saturated market with a lot of competitors into
I
it.
cannot answer.
Nope.
He built
Okay.
a company.
Yes, I've been in that space.
Okay. I will love to meet you in person, one-on-one.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Please.
So look, the feedback I'm going to give. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I understand how difficult it is to come and pitch, right? So bear that in mind when I give you this feedback. So you started to engage the audience at the beginning. I think you asked a question about how many people have a problem with this. Right? Usually, if you've only got 2.5 minutes, if you look like you're engaging the audience and you zoom past it, it sends the wrong message, right? So only engage if you actually are really engaging. And if you ask a question to the audience, wait for an answer. Or in 2.5 minutes, you don't have time to do it. So just be careful about looking like you're not genuinely or authentically engaging with the audience in your presentation. But just that I know how hard it is to do what you're doing. So
Okay.
yeah.
Excellent.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it really makes sense. Thank you so much for your feedback. It's really valuable.
Any other quick comment? Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So I was just reminded too, just so everyone knows, the corporate tables are opening at 2:30, so those just open for anyone that wants to visit those. Not saying we want you to leave here, but just want to make sure you know that those are open from now until 4:30, and you're welcome to stop by. So next we have Zelka. Please, welcome Zelka, Start of Istanbul. Welcome, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I should use this?
That one, yes.
Okay.
And you can begin.
Hello, everyone. I'm Parisa Navobi, co-founder and CMO of Zelka, which it helps you as brands and organizations listen and communicate with society accurately. Every minute, over 1 million data is published on online and offline media, which it means people are talking about everything, including brands, organizations, and products. Communication departments can't use Google as an analytical tool to find where their mentions are, when and why they are talking about them, and do these kind of trends threaten their brand health or not. Not answering these questions causes real difficulties to respond to PR crisis on time or decide on a strategy campaign based on true data. So we developed a B2B platform gathering this huge data from multi-sources, converted to kind of human understandable knowledge by the phenomenal technology like AI, cognitive social science, and etc. Under a PR crisis, a PR manager needs to see all 20 tweets posted on social media and everywhere about their organizations. And this is where Zelka makes these kind of challenges easier by a smart search engine, brand health and awareness indicators, audience cognition diagrams, and many other useful features in order our customers focus on their strategic and real-time decisions. By that, we gained a trust of more than 150 Iranian named brands, and within 9 months, we gained more than $600,000 without any investment raising. And the market size, the global market size is about $50 billion. We have $500 million in Turkey and $200 million in Iran. And in comparison to our competitors, the price and the unique multilingual services of Zelka is totally optimized. And all of this has done with a wonderful and sophisticated team from Silicon Valley and tech ecosystem of Iran. Thank you.
So the last two have finished with about 10 seconds left. Great job. So please.
So you spent 45 seconds on your first slide that did not show me any sign of what's to come. So I
Yeah.
got bored in the 45 and then I was like, it's not gonna work.
Okay, this, you
Not
mean
the-
this one?
Yeah, this, like, you don't need any of this. You put the logos of your customers and you start by saying, we are Zika and we're helping 160 companies like these to solve their PR crisis. And we already have $600,000 of revenue, which means we're kind of doing something right. Let me tell you more. And I'm like, okay. Like now I'm paying attention, like CNN, BBC, you talk 45 seconds on this. it didn't do you as best as it could.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, no, you don't need to address.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
always difficult
Yeah.
for a female founder to not respond. You know, it's like,
Oh, no.
maybe the first time you're not gonna get any feedback.
It's
Guys,
difficult.
come on. Whenever you comment, you get something back. I feel comfortable now. Go one more. Yeah, I know. Can we go one slide?
Yes, sure.
I guess you can do a little better here because the other version, go one more. This is much more important than the previous. We help them get the hashtags, solve it. And if you tell me that, then you can mention how, why. Of course, you're using AI, big data. That's always fine. Next. Again, I think this should come way earlier. That's impressive. That's great. The world is so big, your achievements look very small. So go forward to the slide. Sorry. Like, you're doing so much good, but because you're extrapolating on the whole world, it seems like you're doing so little. Like, you're not over here. So focus on the parts that you're really strong in.
Okay.
That's already enough. $4 billion, that's fine. One more. Again, it's cramming a lot of things. This by itself is a really important slide, and you're adding numbers, so it gets complicated. Slides, the logos will make more sense.
Okay.
And then you can mention that you have competitive advantage over prices, maybe. I'm not really sure it's necessary. And you finish, you go forward. One more, please. Does it work? The contrast text, sometimes people will not be able to read it, so logos will work.
Okay.
You're only 4 people?
No, we are 20 people.
That's kind of
Oh.
important.
Okay.
Like co-founders of 4, but 5 developers, 3 technical. So that will make you look like you're big, which you actually are big. You're not just 4 people. Because no one will believe you with 4 people you've done that 600,000.
Yes, for sure.
That will make sense. But don't put small pictures of logos.
Sure.
And final,
It's final. one.
that's it.
Yeah.
So you're not asking anything? Sightseeing,
No, so
Istanbul
you don't
is
need to
good.
answer,
Just
but you
if
should
you're
tomorrow.
not asking anything,
Right.
you don't have to. But if you are planning to, even you don't have to be now. But if you're planning, we are looking for people in the sphere to add as advisory board members, whatever. But do not leave the stage without asking anything, because people are like, great, what am I going to do with you? And then
Okay.
it's
Even
not a
ask
good
for
feeling.
customers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other comments. 1 minute. Yeah. Go ahead.
You sounded very confident. I think we can cover most of the comments. The comment that I was going to mention is why you're here. What do you want? And that is something that's very important. If you want to raise money, if you want to attract clients, customers, hunt some of these entrepreneurs to be part of your company. That was, I think, to me, a missing part.
Sure.
Great pitch, right? I think we did well. Yeah, nice
Love it.
job. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll take that.
Thank you.
We're all cooking pancakes. Excellent. Okay, so next we have, please give a start up Istanbul. Welcome to Dormag, please. There you go. Green is going to forward. Okay.
Hi, everybody. I am Dr. Habib from Dormag, a startup from Saudi Arabia. Fruit trees like grapes, apples, and flowers like tulips have great value, and they are appreciated all over the world. However, they only can be grown in certain areas of the world where there is cold winters. Why? Because they go through a period of rest, and they will need 2 to 3 months of cold to be able to resume growth and produce properly. At Dormag, we came up with a unique solution which uses a few minutes of treatment with plasma to get the same results as with 3 months of cold. For that reason, we've been in the news websites, in horticulture magazines all around the world. And the market value of these crops are huge. In fact, it's in the billions of dollars around the world. For now, we only focused on flowers because they are highly valuable, and also they can get us to the market very quickly. Our business model is simple. We take flower bulbs from growers, treat them with our proprietary technology, and sell them back at a 50% discount compared to imported ones. We already, sorry. We are not only cheaper, but we are faster, and we are organically compatible. Because of this, we are already received a lot of interest from local and international companies, and some of these companies not only interested in our products, but also are interested in investing in us. We already proved the concept and also did successfully field trials. In the future, we want to test or do field trials in customers' farms to be able to sell to corporate customers. For now, we are interested in to be able to scale up. We are interested in raising $250,000, and also $500,000 to be able to adapt the technology for fruit trees. We are a competent team. Dr. Mujahid has more than 10 years working on plasma. Myself, I've been exposed to fruit trees in agriculture, in cold climate agriculture for more than 25 years. And Dr. Otif is a chemist and...
Thank you. Okay, what comments? Yes, Vijay.
Yeah, well done. Good presentation. I like the way you emphasize the skill sets of the team. Could you go back to the slides where you say it's cheaper, faster, and... Yeah. So faster in what? Is it fast in growing? Cheaper what? At wholesale, at farm prices, retail? That's not clear to me.
Okay.
So you have to qualify the numbers. You don't need to address it, but just make sure it's clear when you make the presentation. Yes.
Okay.
Other comments?
So I would not have believed this would have existed if you were not coming from cows to help, because I worked there. If they say it works, it works. I trust them. But for people who are not coming from technology background or from any agriculture background, a plasma is a big question mark. I don't have a clue what a plasma is. So you might need to educate them a little bit by not giving them the academic citation, of course. Please don't do that. But more like, here's how it works. A plasma is but in very simple, like normal people language, not academic people language. Then we might have a better understanding, because it's more like, feels like, oh, here's something, I put it here, what happens in 3 months will happen in 3 minutes. That seems like magic, not science too much, to more people who are not educated. So that might be a little help there, as much as I could.
Excellent. Any other comments? Yeah, sure, please.
Just a quick one. Look, I think it was a great presentation. When I heard you start the presentation, it sort of made sense that these crops are needed and they couldn't be grown. But then you kind of lost me on the next couple of slides, right? So how? And also, it's and I don't know, but the next play is, or the next part of the conversation is this a food security issue? Is this what's the catch? I understand it can't be done, but what I lost was, well, why can't we just continue to import these things, right? So just making that link, I think, is really critical, because the rest of the presentation, with some of the comments that have already been made, was good. But if you don't clear that hurdle, people stop listening after that, right? Because they just don't get it. But a great presentation.
Good. Nice job. Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Okay, so let's move on to our next startup. There they are. Let's see, it's School N. Let's bring them up. Startup Istanbul, welcome, please. Have some energy. Let's run up. Let's go.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Sheye, and I'm representing school.ng. So imagine having access to a lot of information. Imagine having information at real time. What exactly do you do with it? I guess this will be the question popping up. So let's go ahead. School.ng actually is a hub, a platform that brings all tertiary institutions together in Nigeria and all over the continent. Also, we figure out that students lose out and they lose out on a lot of information, scholarships, and happenings around the world. So we focus on bringing them together on this platform. All institutions around Nigeria as a target. Of course, our target is Nigeria, and also we focus more on other platforms, and we also give a kind of opportunity for people to advertise here. And here is a market validation that we did within the last span of 3 months. We launched up at 0. In 3 months, we got 1,800. That's a huge success for us as it is right now. And what we are doing is, how can we progress on this? What exactly can we do to make it better? What can we do to make it move forward? Also, from the data here, we noticed that all our users, they actually spend around 38 minutes on the app, right from the time we floated. That tells you it's a big deal. Also, these have come of the comments that people leave on the app. As I'm speaking to you, it's still very much available. You can check it out as well. So that means it's a success in making. And we have a huge market size, actually about 11 million audience. Also, these are some of the common features. Actually, you can exchange pictures. You can have access to data, actually academic data on this platform. For us, we are targeting students and other people as well. So this is a business model. We are using B2B and B2C. B2B, of course, we are focusing on large and small scale entrepreneurs. And here is our competition. And of course, we are, in competition with major social applications as well. And here's the good part, actually, because it's not really so much of a competition, because this is one of its type. So it's going to be targeted majorly at our people down there in Nigeria. And here is our team. Thank you so much for having us. That's it.
Yeah, if you want to take that over. Great. Mentors, what comments?
Thank you. When I hear the name, I assume this is an EdTech kind of related topic, and actually you lost me. This is a social platform and nothing to do with education in many ways. So
he's saying he didn't understand your business. It's a social media. From the name, it sounds like it's an education technology.
Actually,
No, you don't need to address it. It's confusing, so you need to make it really clear.
That's exactly the point. It's confusing. Plus, when you talk about your target, I didn't understand the target you're talking about, the growth that you had, which segment we're talking about. Once again, the segment itself was not very well defined in terms of who's actually using this platform.
So the segment definition, not well defined. Cool. What else?
So when you started, you have a slide that shows the problem, but you were not talking about the problem. You were talking about what your business model, what was your business?
Otherwise.
So there's a disconnect between what you were saying in the slides behind that. So you lost me there. The second thing is when you talk about your business model, you're saying B2C and B2B, but actually that's not what business models are. You got to talk about your unit economics. How do you generate revenue, your customer base? How do you execute that is really what I would like to hear. And lastly, you had a slide on team. Who are the people? There's a few taglines of different skill sets. But what are your qualifications? What's your experience in the past? That's how you would like to present a team.
Yeah, and I'll just add one comment, Bill, which is the slides are loaded. There is a lot of info, and that is not readable. So in order not to lose the audience, try to be selective on the most important info that you would like to share with the audience, so they can keep trace with you throughout the journey or the story you're trying to tell them.
So the point was try to make one point on each slide. Yeah, not so many. Yeah, perfect. Cool. Thank you very much. I'll take that back. Congratulations. Okay, so our next company is Biog, and let's give Startup Istanbul welcome.
What is the button?
Green will advance. Yep.
and just begin.
Shall I begin? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Rabiul Islam. I made my first $1 million at the age of 24. And I'm here to tell you about my next big project, which is called Biog. Telcos around the globe are being heavily impacted by companies like WhatsApp, Skype, and Messenger. As a result, they are looking for new ways to increase their revenue and customer retention. Biog helps them to achieve that. Biog is a mobile application that connects customer with local businesses through exclusive deals like buy one, get one free. What makes us different is we do that through telco network distribution channel. Recently, we became partner with 2 largest telco, and which means they will promote us to their 52 million subscribers for completely free. We have 500 plus business partners with 1,500 plus incentive offers. Businesses have generated over 60,000 taka through us, and our usage of the app has doubled twice in the last 3 months. We have huge opportunity to penetrate 90 million potential customers, leading to an addressable market size of $1.80 billion per year. We normally generate revenue through subscription fees, advertising, and loyalty programs. We have 2 local startup competitors with very low traction, and we are the only company who is backed by telco and TVS license holder. So that rules out all the competition and creates a very high barrier entry in the local market. We're a team of 16 people with hands-on experience in building businesses from scratch. We had done this before, and we know exactly what we are doing. We're raising $500,000 to accelerate our nationwide expansion. So if you're interested, please talk to me after this presentation. Thank you so much.
Please.
Yeah, you're not going to see the good side of me on this one. Sorry for that already. Can you go back to the competition slide? There are a few things that really bug me when they happen. Yes. So, it is good to compare your metrics with your competitors. And you might say, oh, I have more of this, I have more of that. But that is a sure way to express to investors that you're not focused on the real thing, which is the value creation for customers. So you might be saying, oh, I have 10,000, they have 5,000. They're a startup, you're a startup, there is more money, they kick your ass without you noticing. And that is not the way to present to investors at all. Please don't bash other startups as competitors. You should actually be crashing the telcos who have a lot more users than you but fail to serve customers, which is a much better business model to work about. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to go through it. Yeah. One more slide. So you put a lot of numbers, but you went through it so fast, it just didn't click. You had 30 more. Yeah, I know, doesn't matter. You had 30 more seconds, so you're not well prepared to be on stage at this stage. And this is just too many things at once without actually working to present. It's just mumbo jumbo. You just stuck it there. It doesn't make any sense. Go to the previous slides. Sorry, I didn't have my lunch, so I'm kind of grumpy. Yeah. Solution we're providing. This is, again, a very terribly designed slide. Telecom, enterprise, consumer, huge saving, increased sales. This is mumbo jumbo. Like new revenue streams for what? Customer retentions of where? Huge savings, who? And plus, I actually don't completely think I understand what you're doing, putting yourself between the customers and the telcos. Do you need the telcos to actually do this? I'm not really sure. Maybe you should be not working for telcos, but working against telcos. I'm not sure. So there's a guy who knows more about telcos over here than I do. So I'm kind of leaving it to him now.
Well, actually, thanks, Suzanne.
That's
Almost 20 years CEO of telcos. You mentioned that you are one of your big differentiators is that you are backed up by telcos. That was the biggest thing that you started with. Frankly, I did not understand what you are offering me as a telco. That's, you know,
We are sharing revenue.
if that's your business model, then your audience is the telco CEOs and convincing other telcos around the world that this works. It's true, telcos are facing this problem of dumb pipes and they're looking for revenue streams, that's for sure. If you had a solution for this, then that should be your focus. I got the magic solution for solving the revenue streams of telcos, and this is what I do for you telcos, not for this audience. So your business model, what Ozan mentioned is absolutely clear. I did not understand what you offer me as a telco. So if I'm your godfather, if I'm your miracle, I did not understand what you're offering me. So you have to make sure that you explain this clearly well. If that's your business, if your business model is based on telcos, then that should be your extreme, attention to that.
Thank you so much.
Another quick comment. Yes.
Great. Just another quick comment. I just want to sort of build on what you guys said. I completely agree with that. I think it's interesting to see this presentation after the previous one, where probably their slides were too busy and there was too much information. Maybe your slides were at the other end of the spectrum, right? So what didn't happen is, for all of you, I think the key message is that your slides are a visual aid, right, to your message. So for each slide, think about what is the message I'm giving, and does the visual support that? Because what happened when I was listening to you was I was hearing what you were saying, then I was looking at the slide and there was no connection, right? So by the time I tried to figure that out, you'd already moved on. I think the other point that was made was you finished early, which meant you skipped over too many slides. So they kind of came in and they kind of went, right? So think through every slide. Why is it there? One message, and does my visual support that message?
Right, perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. One more startup, and I'd ask you to get a Startup Istanbul welcome to Zap. Zap, where are you? Come on up.
Thank you. Just this button?
That advances, yeah. And your time's here, and go.
Hi all, my name is Yiğit. I'm co-founder of Zap, which is a mobility-based data collection and advertising platform. Every day, when you go outside, recent studies show that you see around 4,000 ads and logos. But do you remember any of them? Probably not, right? This is because of two major problems in out-of-home advertising. The first one is the ads are not targeted. And the second one is effectiveness of the campaigns cannot be measured. To overcome these problems, we decided to mount smart displays on top of taxis and rideshare cars, enabling smarter media and smarter cities. For the media, we are enabling location-based targeting. This means that, for example, around the universities, we can target students through a social media app product, whereas around the financial districts, we can target working professionals through a new investment opportunity of a bank. We can also do coverage and impression analysis through the location-based data we collect. Through the integrated sensors inside the displays, we can collect block-by-block smart city data, such as air pollution, road conditions, and traffic. And also, we are creating additional revenue for the drivers. The global out-of-home market is huge, but at first, we are targeting cities such as Berlin, London, and Dubai, which creates a budget up to $500 million. We chose these cities because we know we can pass the regulations within them. Our business model is we charge advertisers per targeted ads, and we also charge local governments for the block-by-block smart city data we collect, and we share our revenue with the drivers. Our closest competitor is Firefly, who is really popular nowadays in USA. But since we have pioneered this team to found the company, get their technology and get invested in USA, we know we can do this business as good as them. We launched in Ankara in 2016 with 12 displays and created our first revenue. We had over $15,000 monthly recurring revenue at that campaigns. Our team is consisting of top-notch engineers, 2 PhDs in electrical engineering. We have a Stanford grad growth manager. And as a team, we have experience in developing and executing the biggest taxi hailing app of Turkey called iTaxi. So we know we have the skills. Right now, we are raising $1 million for our Series A to expand up to 250 displays. Thank you.
Excellent. Please, mentors, what comments? You've completely made them quiet.
I like Firefly, but I don't think you should spend too much time on it because I know them, not everybody knows. So you talked more about Firefly than you talked about the competition, your advantages. So that's something you can fix. On the fundraising side, you said you're only raising, can you go back one slide? You said, yeah, you're raising $1 million. But again, this is, maybe you were not in the first session. I don't like it to see what you're going to spend the money to. It's important for due diligence and everything else. I would like to see what will happen after you spend the money. So we're at 15,000 MRR now. With the spending we're going to put on new product marketing growth, etc., we're going to take that amount to 150,000 in 18 months. That is more important to me because whatever amount of money you get, you can spend percentages. Yeah, I spent 8.2% on that or this. It doesn't matter at all. Like, that's not what I'm giving you the money. I'm giving you the money to grow, and I want to know where that is for you until your next round of financing. That would worry me if I don't know that.
Let's
Is
hear
the
from a couple other.
valuation? Is this the kind of valuation you're estimating?
Yeah, that's like the post.
Please, in the name of God, Lord, Jesus, Buddha, whatever you're believing, do not do this. Again, this is the worst place a startup can put themselves into. And I'm telling this as an investor because I want to educate you all so you don't do this mistake again. Your worth is not your decision. Your worth is the investor's proposal. They will assume you have potential and offer you something. If you're telling me you think you're $10 million worth, I will start chipping you down like a butcher, and you don't have anywhere to go. Let me assess the investment opportunity. And here in Turkey, maybe it's 10 million, maybe in San Francisco it's 100 million, maybe in another country it's 5 million. It's about the investor's appetite, structure, exit, path, whatever. Please don't do this. When an investor proposes you something, you can accept or reject, but don't do this. You're underselling yourself.
Yes, please.
Definitely, it's not in the presentation, but you started your presentation by talking about targeted advertising. I don't believe this is targeted advertising because simply, you are having a billboard that's walking in the street, and even next to the university or next to the financial market, you'd have all kind of potential consumers. So I would not classify this as targeted advertising because targeted is something totally different. Plus, you mentioned that you are doing other services, air pollution, traffic, and I did not know what you do with that. I mean, you talked about you have revenue share with the drivers, but the data you are collecting in terms of air pollution and traffic, this could be even more valuable than the other thing, and I did not hear anything about what you are doing with this data and if it's important.
No, you don't need to explain. Thank you. It's just confusing. That's his point. Yeah.
Yeah. Just one comment to add to Ozan's point, which is really great, is that you need to show the traction as well. I think that was missing. You touch base on it very lightly during your talk, but maybe it's good to show it in there. It's like you work in Ankara, and then how far you're going into other cities. Your plans in association with the fund that you're raising to show that the scale that you wanted to grow to.
Perfect. Any other comments? Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so we've had some really good comments. Congratulations to all the companies that came up to pitch. That's not easy. It is a bit of a blood sport. These are very nice men, but well, except for Ozan. We knew that, but yeah, let's thank the mentors for sure. I have one question I want to pose. So today was actually fairly peaceful. For those that know what's coming tomorrow, we're going to see 100 companies pitch, about 25 per 4 sessions through the day. You won't know your name by the end of the day. It's fairly normal. It's just hard to pay attention. And so knowing that you're going to have to, today was easy, right? It's easy to stand out. There were 9 pitches. Fairly easy to stand out in a group of 9 or 10, something like that. How do you stand out? What words of wisdom? Because we saw some very busy slides. We saw people kind of going a few different directions. What would be some words of wisdom for how to stand out when you have 2.5 minutes and you need to stand out with 100 pictures? Wear colorful clothes?
I would say, you need to be innovative in how to deliver the idea in the most clear, crystal. That's number one. Because all the issues about the numbers and the charts and this is, I think you have plenty of time. If you get me interested, then we will have plenty of time to discuss that. Whatever charts or numbers and that we can do. But the most important thing, focus on delivering your idea in the most clear way so that I understand and I get interested. That's even more important.
So summarize it down to a couple of big points you want to make, right? Basically the idea.
If you are dissing a problem, what is the problem?
Yeah.
And how important or big or strategic this problem, and that your solution is unique. I have to see that. If I see that there's a really a major problem and you are addressing it in the right way, then I'm interested.
Yeah.
And if in all your presentation I don't get that,
Right.
I get lost.
And if you have traction, we have some market validation. Absolutely.
Yeah. To add to this, I believe the storytelling piece is a little bit missing. So this afternoon here, we saw good coverage of the different elements, but storytelling is very, very, very powerful. And if you can use it to your advantage to get the audience on board, then you will trigger their interest, the interest of the audience, the listeners, the investors, and so on. And then you would carry on the discussion. And that can start by only symbolizing one sample and then extrapolate on the millions that have similar kind of problem. And the main goal is to get the emotional attachment of the audience. And that is super powerful tool you can utilize once you're pitching on stage.
Right.
And that's it for me.
Other comments, PJ?
Yeah, so I would like to say that you have an opportunity to use your brand and own a space in the mind share of the audience. So what exactly does the brand equates to, right? And you have an opportunity multiple times during the presentation to reinforce that. Rather than saying, we do this, we do that, how about you say, Zap does this, Zap does that, Zap does this. And so that's an opportunity you have in the 2.5 minutes to kind of reinforce your brand, but owning a specific space of the problem or the solution that you want to tackle.
Excellent.
Thank you. So I would give two pieces of advice, right? So the first one is that your pitch is a completely different thing to any other communication you're going to have with your investors, right? So it's not taking a business plan and trying to condense it down into 2 minutes, right? You almost have to start with a clean sheet of paper. So don't try and say everything you would say in your business plan. Just focus, as the guys have mentioned, right? So start with a clean sheet of paper. Don't try and condense your business plan into 2 minutes. That's the first point. The second point picks up again on what the guys were saying, right? Is simply catch the, how do you, this is not an easy thing to do, but how do you catch the attention of the kind of investors right off the bat, right? So no one's going to listen for 2 minutes or whatever time you have tomorrow, because there's a whole conveyor belt of investors, right? So if you don't catch the interest right off the bat. Now, one way people have done that is to start, and again, sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't work, by saying things like, we are the Uber of this industry, right? So immediately you can draw a connection, you get an understanding, and you're interested to listen on. That doesn't always work, so tomorrow don't come out and say we're the Uber of, yeah? But think of a way that in the first sentence you can either catch the interest or not. Now, you're not going to interest everybody, so don't try and interest everybody, right? But really focusing on trying to catch the interest right at the beginning.
And I'll add one point is that some of the people who pitched in here is they missed the opportunity to utilize the presence of the crowd by having a clear ask. And not necessarily the funding that you would require, but many of you would need something. You're going in an uphill battle, and you need something at some point. And it's good to put that in place, and that would be very useful to leverage the audience presence and people that might help you to connect you with X or Y or Z, and so on and so forth. So it's good to make really good use of that ask and make it towards the end. Some people missed it, so make sure that you mention it in there.
Please help me thank our mentors. Really appreciate their feedback. And we have a break now until 3:30. I'd invite you to visit the corporate tables, visit with them, visit with your peers, certainly network. We're going to start, though, promptly at 3:30, so we'll see you back here then.